periods, I locked myself away at home, took long baths and lots of painkillers, and fortified my body and mind for the next cycle. My only excuse was, I'm just so tired. After one particularly bad flare-up, in which I'd spent the 2014 Christmas holiday period in bed with my best friend, the hot water bottle, I heard about a patient-centred endometriosis conference run by the advocacy group EndoActive. I got myself a ticket. One crisp day, the following May, in a University of Sydney auditorium, I learnt for the first time that all the things wrong with me, the period pain, leg pain, back pain, hip pain, shooting pains up my rectum and vagina, bloating, nausea, diarrhea, stomach upsets, dizziness, and the oh-so-debilitating fatigue were common symptoms of endometriosis. I also heard of adenomyosis for the first time, a disease I was diagnosed with later that year. I cried and I cried and I cried. For most of my life, I doubted myself, feeling second-rate, weak and flaky, only to realise I wasn't. I had to reimagine myself, and it wasn't easy. I told my editor at The Guardian, Emily Wilson, now editor of New Scientist, I wanted to write about endometriosis. She could barely believe the statistics. 1 in 10 women of reproductive age have the disease. That's 176 million women worldwide. Sufferers are routinely told by healthcare professionals that pregnancy or hysterectomy are cures. They're not. In fact, there's no known cause or cure. Medical professionals often dismiss sufferers as being difficult rather than ill. One gynecologist wrote about how the disease can be cured by stress management because only type A personalities get it. Another gynecologist wondered aloud to a researcher, do mad people get endo or does endo make you mad? It's probably a bit of both, he concluded. An anaesthetist told a pain seminar that women with treatment-resistant endo have probably been sexually abused and need to see a psychiatrist. The disease is funded at around 5% of the rate of funding for diabetes, although it affects about the same number of women and costs the economy more. And the personal financial cost is exorbitant, unlike for diabetes, which has many affordable treatment options. Figures in 2018 were remarkably similar in Australia, the US, and UK. My editor was shocked. She consulted The Guardian's editor-in-chief, Catherine Viner, and the best health reporters from The Guardian's global team were recruited to do an investigation. It happened swiftly and efficiently, and I was blown away by the result. When we asked endo sufferers to tell us about their experiences on the 10th of September 2015, we received more than 600 responses in under 24 hours. We had to close the submission form because we couldn't possibly publish them all. As I was reading through the stories, one thing became clear to me. No matter their country, ethnicity, or race, or how old, rich or poor, sufferers from around the world face the same battles. Long delays in diagnosis, having their pain doubted, then normalised, having their mental health questioned, and receiving bad medical advice. There was even one Russian woman who'd been given leech therapy, a trend I'd assumed had been discredited a couple of centuries ago, but may apparently be making a comeback. The quality of life impact was extreme for women who responded from Australia, the UK, Ireland, the USA, Canada, Uganda, Armenia, Brazil, Poland, Nepal, and Thailand. The financial cost, along with the costs of opportunities lost in school, at work, and in relationships, are untold. Endometriosis has been known as the silent disease, but that isn't because women don't want to talk about it. On the 28th of September 2015, when The Guardian launched its global investigation into endometriosis, 1 million people clicked. My feature alone has been shared more than 40,000 times. Everywhere I went in the weeks following that investigation, people wanted to talk about endo with me. I received hundreds of emails, and more than 3 years later, I'm still getting emails from women who